You could sum it up, in my opinion, it needs to be an engineered capital project. It cannot be us using construction adhesive to glue pavers from Menards down in the street, which is what they were proposing. I mean, there's legal issues, there's liability issues, there's maintenance issues. I've heard it in my tenure here too, and I can understand why it would be something that's very popular. I don't disagree with that at all, but I think if this is something you wanna pursue, again, it needs to be an engineered public construction type of improvement.
Sorry, this is the first I've ever heard of this
I know, no
issue.
one's ever
I do like drive out of my way to not go to that post office because I have to get out of the car, which is like terrible to admit, but, so I mean, it would be lovely, but is that the only place that it could go on that property?
Yeah, I guess the idea was to have it drop by the driver's side, so you can just do this with your packages. And
Why don't you take it out? You used to have one.
No,
Wasn't
there never
There
was
used
one.
to be a box where the parking ramp for, on the right side going up Bartlett, but then with
We
the ramp,
actually-
it had to come out,
Well,
or they wanted it out.
I
The
think
post
we
one.
also took it out because there were so many people that were using it as a driver's side drop box and crossing into oncoming traffic to do that. It was a very frequent occurrence. And so I think it actually got moved before the parking ramp was
So there was
moved.
one on Bartlett and Capitol, and people would go over there to.
There was one on Bartlett, right where the entrance
Yeah.
to the parking
Okay.
structure is. But
Oh,
people
okay.
would come southbound
Yeah.
and then cross into the
over.
northbound lane to
Oh.
use that
Yeah.
as
I
a
would do
driver's
that.
side box.
Yeah, that sounds exactly right.
Well, if you know, I just did this at the post office on Lydell.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know,
I
you
go
could
to.
go in that parking lot and do it right there, so
Yeah.
if people, they could just drive up to Whitefish.
Yeah.
Right, I
No,
mean,
but I end up, well, cause dragging kids and
right,
everything
with
out of
kids, I'm like,
car
I'm not getting out
and-
of the car to just mail a letter, like, no way.
Put
So-
some line at the Shorewood post office,
Yeah, I mean,
But I don't know, no one's ever asked me about
yeah,
this.
I've never heard about that until
I
today.
heard about
How many people actually said this to you?
I'd say between 5 and 10.
I think it came up
Yeah,
with
there's
the
a
men's-
lot on the business
men's
end,
club.
and when I was
Yeah,
looking
men's
at it,
club.
a lot of people wanted it back.
There was a question from men's club at the men's club forum.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And the US Postal Service doesn't,
Yeah, but
Because
the
it-
post
don't
office
they
would have to
own
be
it?
involved
Yeah.
in putting the
Yeah.
box there.
Yeah, you'd have to,
You'd
you'd
have
have to
to-
talk with them.
that's quick.
So,
Would be possible too.
I don't rate that too high.
yeah, I don't think there's any, I think the sense of the room is that I'm getting that people wanna move on from this one.
Mhm.
And the next one I think is pretty simple too. This next one's pretty small. It's just, recognizing that, citizen committee members, we've had people rolling off and, some turnover. So I thought, I was thinking maybe we could do a plaque or a cocktail reception, just for kind of the citizen committees as people rolled off. Could even be something like a cash bar. I just thought that would be kind of a nice thing to do. Again, not a huge initiative, but just something that crossed my mind as we go through this process.
Are you aware that we have a policy?
So I think that's one of the things, because last week seems like forever ago, but, we do actually have a policy that goes through it, and it's called the volunteer appreciation night. And so we do that, in partnership with the school district, but one of the things that I thought was interesting from this initiative, so there is a gathering.
Okay.
I think that there are also drink tickets and also a cash bar.
It sounds like you're already.
However, I like the whole certificate idea because we are, there is more turnover, in terms of citizens and committees, and so when people have knowledge of just, kind of something to signify, our extent of gratitude. I don't know if that's ever been incorporated with that in the past or not.
So, can I just chime in, because I did have a conversation before I even saw this initiative with Diane, because I know a member of our community had mentioned, in the past we had done something more significant, so I wanted to follow up on that. We do have a policy, it does state that we give certificates for certain years, like if you've been on the committee for 2 years or 4 years, When I talked to Diane, the recommendation was that kind of got cumbersome. It would be better to just say, hey, if you finished out your two terms, you get a certificate. But we've never, in her memory, ever given out certificates, even though the policy states we are required to. So we do have that in place. It may need to be modified, and if this goes forward, I would just suggest that we take a look at that policy.
Alright, that sounds good,
Sounds good.
okay.
Sounds good? Okay, there's nothing else on that. Let's move on to restore DPW summer staff level. I believe that's over to you, trustee Mauer?
Yeah, this came up kinda out of the Menlo issue, cause I was just driving home and I saw summer crew just stripping out plants that I just went and bought, you know? I'm like, I know we talked about reducing the number of planters last year in our budget, but I had not realized that we were also that would also affect the level of our the summer seasonal staff. We actually before 2019, we typically had 12 seasonals plus one, which would include one horticultural intern, plus we'd also hire a forestry intern. We dropped to eight seasonals, which included one horticultural intern, and we also have one forestry intern. So that's part of why the perennial beds are being reduced, and I just come out of the meeting on the bluff restoration, the discussion, do you hire out stuff or do you do it internally? And I think seasonals workers are an incredible bargain when you need them the most to do your tree work, your plantings and other things, the events and the other things we do in the park, Atwater, EAB. And I just think it's a place that we probably should look at, is this someplace we should get back to 12 plus the one forestry? I know, I asked Ben, he's new, and he would like, if we're gonna be doing more, utilizing them more, is to shift from like 8 interns to 4 less skilled interns, and have 5 to 7 more 4 horticultural and 5 to 7 just kind of summer help. And also to have them, and the OTI talked about this, is look for college students that actually have skills and are in the programs, so they can do really targeted work and you can count on their work, like for invasives that they are causing more damage. And they can also do better. And I think it's something we need to think about. I mean, part of the quality of life in our community is our flowers, how we present, and is the amount of money we're saving, is this where we really want to be cutting? And my proposal would be to restore to the 12, and not to necessarily take it out of other DPW's things, but to make a commitment again to how our village looks like, how our parks are maintained. Bocce balls fields, I'm sure, require some maintenance. We want Atwater to be good if it ever warms up. And we have a lot of events, they help clean up, they get the barricades, stuff like that, and they're just useful in the summer, right? So that's what I put the initiative in for.
I can appreciate that.
Any comments?
I mean, we took them out as a budget saving measure, and I mean, it's kind of hard not looking at the rest of the budget
Right.
to say,
Yeah.
Right.
but I'm kind of confused, since the referendum, because I'm kind of confused about, certainly when I've gone around and knocked on doors, people seem very concerned about taxes. I'm concerned about our tax rate. Our tax rate is higher than surrounding places. I think, at the same time, housing prices are going up like crazy. You know, in a lot of ways, Shorewood is gentrifying, and that's a good thing for some people and a bad thing for other people. I don't know if it's something we can stop no matter what we do, but I guess there's, what your initiative is gonna come up against is what is our commitment to keeping a lower tax rate? You know, keeping an increase in our tax rate to a lower amount, and how important is that? I mean, that was one of my initiatives last year, but I have to say with the passage of the referendum, I'm kind of like, well, obviously the majority of people don't feel that that's important, so I'm kind of like up in the air about it, frankly.
Just a Carpenter?
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at that without looking at the rest of the budget is challenging. I did have a chance to look through some of the survey results though, and that was one of the big things in the
Yeah.
survey results was
Yeah.
that the taxes and,
Yeah.
you know, yes, Shorewood is gentrifying and, you know, is that good for some people and not for others? Definitely, but, you know, I do feel this fiscal responsibility to looking, you know, and making choices and, you know, and maybe there are some other choices we can make once we sit down looking more comprehensively at the budget, but, it's hard for me to pick and choose and, you know, I mean, I feel that pain and I do really believe in my heart that your budget is a living document of your morals and it really represents what you believe as a community and what you value. And we definitely made a statement with that and, you know, is that the same statement we want to make, you know, going forward? Are there other places that we can make some decisions about? You know, I don't know, that's my struggle, but I do think that it is still people's number one concern, so.
I would agree that I think it's all looked at in the context of the budget, and I'm not saying that I support it or don't support it, I just think that you look at it and you prioritize what the community and what your constituents, want to spend money on as you go through that budgetary process.
Yeah, I didn't envision it outside the budget process, I just wanted to get it back in the queue when we have our discussion, because there is a cost beyond just planters in the business district and other initiatives we're undertaking, so. And you know, I'm amazed at the value of the houses we have and how they're selling so fast, so people are loving this community and they're coming, and we have to, besides taxes, we gotta protect property values, which is a major asset of everyone holds, so, and we like living here too, so, you know, there's definitely a balance, so.
All right, so anything else on summer staff? If not, trustee Maher, it is you again, on amplified music and.
All right. I've heard from a number of people, I know this has come up, with the parklets and the sidewalk seating, is amplified music, and we've kind of talked about it, but, and it's still in there, but I'm getting complaints from people that live near the parklets at how long it's going, and I'm just wondering if this should be something in committee should look at in the next year. Just this amplified music, television's out projecting off the buildings, you know, how much do we want to be going on in the public way, and the volume and at what hours, and we're granting the permission, so where do we, are we gonna draw a line, or are we just gonna, you know?
Do we already, Mike? I just wanted to be clear, I think it's 10 p.m., everything has to be down, right? I mean, otherwise they're breaking the law. I'm just saying, what is our current noise ordinance thing for outdoor noise?
Is it 11 on the weekends? I think it's 11 on the weekends.
It's 10 p.m.
Every night?
Correct.
And 7 a.m. in the morning.
7 a.m. in the morning?
Regular night.
The chief says it's 10 every night. Are the TVs just during the soccer? When are their TVs?
This was like in the recent complaint was in the afternoon, there's soccer, all the yelling and stuff out on the street.
Oh,
And they are hanging off the facade of the building, which is in the public space. We talked about amplified, I just think it's an issue we should think about, cause we've got residents living near these places and we're granting the permission. If it's on their own property, then, but we're saying, use it. And
I mean, I would love to see noise considered more generally. I mean, we have what, like, 10 weeks where it's actually nice enough to be out in your own yard.
Right.
And I mean, this is just my particular peeve, but I mean, I sit down and like enjoying myself and relaxing, and I was like, I'll have like 5 neighbors at the same time with the leaf blowers and it's like one of them
Oh,
stops and you have like 10 minutes of quiet and then somebody else starts, I mean, we live very close on top of each other and it's very noisy. Everywhere.
What do you do about that? You can't mow your lawn? Like, don't take care of your yard.
Uh-oh.
I just get my one neighbor has such a loud lawnmower.
Oh, no.
Lawnmowers are not that loud.
Maybe your neighborhood association can keep
My
your lawnmower for them.
Oh my God, sorry.
This is what happens at 9 o'clock at night.
President Rosick?
I do think we have discussed this multiple times at the board. I am not in favor of restricting noise in the business district any further than we already have. There is benefits to being able to enjoy the summer as for businesses, and the business district was there before the residents came. It's really a slap in the face to say, because new residents are moving in, now we're gonna modify, they can have music outside. To me, it's like a zoning ordinance. You need, as a resident, when you move in, and you're, vacant lot next to you, look at the zoning. The zoning may say, it's not for your building to go there. It's your responsibility to understand where you're moving. And I've always felt that way. In Milwaukee, we dealt with the same issue. So, in our situation, we have 2 roads, Oakland and Capitol, where the businesses locate. And it's never, we've never changed the law. And now that people are moving in some